Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin, and with Jack Reacher, never go back. That was a little intense. With Jack Reacher, never go back on the way, thought I'd go back and read way too much into Jack Reacher. You know, the first time I watched this movie, I was a little bored. I don't know why. Maybe I just saw the movie Taken. Maybe I thought Jack Reacher was gonna be like Taken and just be non-stop kick-butt action. And there was a lot of kick-butt action, but it did stop, and there was a lot of slow moments. But the second time I watched it through, I enjoyed it so much more. Not only because I'm doing it for reading way too much into, but because I noticed all kinds of little nuances. Like, there is a musical score in this movie, but through a lot of the big action sequences, they drop off the score, and it's just the sound effects of things, and I thought it was pretty cool. Car chase scene, no music. Gunfight scene at the end, no music. Tom Cruise thinking, you know what? I'm gonna beat up Jai Courtney because I have a vendetta against this guy and I'm just not gonna be smart about things. No music. And it was really cool. So, I don't know. A lot of that stuff I thought was like really well done the second time watching it through. So, reading way too much into this movie, one of the main things I saw when I was watching this movie through this time around was that, to me, this movie seems to be about opening your eyes to the truth. In this movie, I saw a lot of characters that went into this situation with preconceived notions. And those preconceived notions were just so much easier to go with. So what did? They went with them. So the movie opens with this shooter, Jai Courtney, shooting 5 people with a sniper gun. The police show up and there's evidence all over the place with the fingerprints and everything, not from Jai Courtney, but from this army dude who was a sniper in the army and spent 2 years in the army and never got to snipe anybody, and apparently he got the hunger, so then he decided to snipe like several people who were lined up in a row with the sun at his back so he could see it better. But it turns out all those people were really, really bad people, so they let that guy go. Yeah, that's interesting. All the evidence points to the army sniper. So it seems to everybody that this is just so obvious. Even Jack Reacher, to him, this is obvious. He made a promise to the army sniper guy that if you ever do anything like this ever again, I'm coming for you. So Jack Reacher shows up after this guy gets beat up by prisoner inmates and is in a coma to bury this guy because Jack Reacher was just going to keep his promise. He entered the scenario with a preconceived notion until he meets Helen, who is the daughter of the DA, who's supposed to be the army sniper's attorney. And all she's really supposed to do is just get him off death row, but she still believes he's guilty and is just going to get him in prison for life. They're just not going to have him die in prison. So really, everybody is there with preconceived notions until Jack Reacher and Helen make a deal with each other. That Helen will have to look at each of the victims objectively, and Jack Reacher will have to look at the situation objectively. And lo and behold, when that happened, it's like the veil begins to lift. And I like one of the things that Jack Reacher said. You know, the bullet casing by itself is very convincing. This thing over here by itself is very convincing. That thing over there by itself, very convincing. But when you have it all together, it really begins to stink of a huge lie. Because when the evidence is too perfect, that becomes evidence itself. Throughout this movie, I noted how smart Jack Reacher was, how good he was at reading people, like the moment he met them, how he could just kind of figure out their motivations, and I don't know. He just was able to figure things out, and I kind of like that, showing how smart he was, because that's what happened. The moment he got objective about it, the moment he stopped going with a preconceived notion and took a step back to look at the truth of the situation, he found the truth of the situation, found out that the army sniper guy was completely innocent, that he didn't do any of this, found out that it was Jai Courtney, and it was Jai Courtney working for this company that really all they wanted to do was kill one woman who wouldn't sign over her dead husband's construction company because, well, she hated it, but she couldn't let it go. So they killed 4 random people just so they could kill her and make it all look like a completely weird random shooting, and then they could just take over that company and rip off the city and do the evil, nefarious things that evil, nefarious people do when they want to do evil, nefarious things to cities and take all kinds of money. And so that's all that this was. And when Jack Reacher took that step back to take a real, honest look at the evidence, when he really went looking for truth, he found truth. And honestly, it's one of those things that reminds me of something Jesus said, knock and the door will be open to you, seek and you will find. You know, anyone who looks for the truth, they're just gonna find it. And I found that true in my life, that, you know, when I honestly just open up and look for the truth, I find the truth. And I found that in my relationship with Jesus, that is something that is beyond true in my life. If you saw Jack Reacher, what did you think of this movie? Make sure to let me know in the comments. Are you excited for Jack Reacher Never Go Back? Let me know in the comments what you think and if you're excited for that movie. While you're there, make sure and hit that subscribe button. Be on top of all the new things happening here at Durbania and all the new videos coming out. I'm Durbin. Thanks for checking out Durbania.